On the edge of the Lyra sector, a coalition of star systems had been struggling to maintain fragile peace after centuries of war. For the first time in living memory, humans and the Aelyrians, an elegant silver-skinned alien race with crystalline eyes, were entering into a political alliance. But alliances in the galaxy were rarely sealed with treaties alone. They were often sealed with marriages. Princess Serenya of Aelyria, the youngest daughter of the High Matriarch, had been chosen to wed a human ambassador's son. It was meant to be a symbolic union, proof that two civilizations, once sworn enemies, could share not only commerce but also family. But Serenya was terrified. She had grown up hearing stories of human brutality, the firestorms they had unleashed on Aelyrian colonies, the mechanical armies that marched without mercy, and the countless lives lost before the ceasefire. Her tutors spoke of humans as clever, unpredictable creatures, driven by ambition and guided by emotions they often failed to control. To her, marriage to a human wasn't just a political arrangement. It was a personal sentence into the unknown. Her sisters urged her to be brave. Her mother reminded her of duty. But in the quiet hours, Serenya's crystalline eyes reflected only dread. She had sworn to herself. She would never love a human, not even if the galaxy demanded it. The human she was meant to marry was named Adrian Hale, son of Earth's ambassador. She imagined him as a coarse soldier, loud, rough, reeking of conquest. She wanted nothing to do with him. Yet when the first meeting was arranged aboard the Unity Spire, a massive station orbiting a neutral star, fate began to unravel her certainty. Middle. Serenya arrived at the reception hall draped in the flowing silvers of her house. Her hair braided with strands of light. Her heart hammered as the doors parted, and she laid eyes on the human she was bound to. Adrian was nothing like she expected. He was tall, yes, but carried no armor or intimidation. His dark hair was slightly unkempt, his uniform plain. His face bore neither arrogance nor hunger for power, but instead a quiet curiosity. His hazel eyes studied her the way one might study a star, cautiously, reverently. The human bowed, not stiffly, not out of protocol, but with genuine respect. "Princess Serenya," he said softly. "It's an honor to meet you." His voice lacked the harshness she had braced herself for. Instead, it was warm, almost melodic. She did not reply at first. Suspicion gripped her. The first days of their courtship were little more than observation. They shared diplomatic meals, walked the gardens of the Unity Spire, attended endless councils. Serenya remained distant, speaking only when required, her answers clipped and formal. Adrian, however, never forced conversation. He asked her opinions instead of assuming them, listened instead of boasting, and laughed not at her people's customs but with genuine delight when she explained them. One evening, during a reception under the artificial stars of the spire's grand dome, Adrian found Serenya gazing at the simulated constellations. "You don't trust me," he said quietly, standing beside her. She stiffened. "You are human, and that alone makes me unworthy." His tone carried no anger, only sadness. "You ask as though history is dust," she replied coldly. "As though the firestorms did not burn, as though our people's screams were not real. My ancestors died beneath human ships. Why should I think you different?" Adrian turned his gaze upward. "Because I wasn't there. Because I've studied those same wars and sworn never to repeat them. My people are capable of terrible things, Serenya. But we're also capable of learning." His words lingered. She wanted to dismiss them, but there was no arrogance in him, only sincerity. Over the following weeks, small cracks formed in her wall of fear. She discovered Adrian was not a soldier but a linguist, fascinated by alien languages and cultures. He told her he had begged his father to be included in the mission not for politics, but for the chance to understand Aelyrians beyond propaganda. One night, while exploring the hydroponic gardens, Serenya stumbled on a memory blossom, an Aelyrian flower genetically engineered to release visions of the grower's past. It had been planted in the spire's soil by her people as a diplomatic gift. When she touched it, a shimmer of light revealed her childhood. Her mother's embrace, her sisters playing by the crystalline rivers of Aelyria. She withdrew quickly, embarrassed. But Adrian touched the same flower, and it showed him as a child, running through Earth's green fields, laughing as his little brother chased him. Two memories side by side. Two lives both precious. For the first time, Serenya felt the weight of shared humanity, or perhaps shared existence. But just as her fear began to soften, a crisis erupted. A faction of Aelyrian extremists, furious at the thought of their princess marrying a human, launched an attack on the Unity Spire. Explosions shook the station, alarms wailed, and dignitaries fled to safety. Serenya found herself cornered by a squad of masked insurgents who saw her not as a leader but as a traitor. Adrian found her first. Without hesitation, he shielded her with his own body as plasma fire scorched the walls around them. He dragged her through smoke-filled corridors, refusing to let go even when shrapnel tore across his arm. They fought side by side, Serenya wielding her Aelyrian blade, Adrian firing a stolen blaster. At one point, when an assailant raised a weapon toward her, Adrian stepped between them without thought for his own life. After what felt like an eternity, station guards subdued the attackers. Serenya and Adrian collapsed together in a hidden alcove, adrenaline still coursing. She stared at him, this human who had risked everything for her. "Why?" she whispered. "You could have let them take me. You owe me nothing." He winced at the pain in his arm but managed a faint smile. "Because you're not just a princess. You're Serenya. And I'd rather bleed than watch you fall." Her chest tightened, something foreign and undeniable rising within her. That night, as medical crews tended to Adrian, Serenya sat at his side. She held his hand, awkward at first, then firmly. Fear still lingered in her heart, but it was no longer fear of him. It was fear of what she was beginning to feel. Ending. The following weeks changed everything. Serenya no longer avoided him. She sought his company. She listened to his stories of Earth, of oceans that roared like beasts and cities that shone like suns. He, in turn, asked about Aelyria's crystal towers and sky harps. They laughed more than they should have, shared quiet moments in the gardens, even argued playfully about whose people cooked stranger meals. But beyond laughter there was trust. One evening, as they stood by the viewing window overlooking the blue arc of the neutral star, Adrian spoke first. "They still want us to marry for politics," he said softly. "But I don't want you to feel forced." She turned toward him, her crystalline eyes shimmering with reflected starlight. "At first I thought I was being forced. I thought humans were nothing but conquerors, and I swore I would never love one. And now," his voice trembled,